Hey, we got the one and only Jeff Johnson. Got 3 things you need to know. And we want to welcome to the show the one and only Governor Wes Moore. Big round of applause. Hey, happy to have y'all this morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Governor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. Good to talk to you. Oh,
man. The governor of Maryland. Oh, my God. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Jeff, go ahead, man.
So we know the history pieces, Mr. Governor. You are the first black governor in the state of Maryland. You're the third black elected governor in the United States. And history doesn't mean anything if you don't create impact. And this week, you did something pretty big. And 175,000 pardons for misdemeanor marijuana and paraphernalia convictions. This was a big deal.
Yes, sir. And it's long overdue, and it's justice, because we now have a thriving cannabis market in the state of Maryland, where we have a recreational cannabis market that we've been rolling out for the past year, and from most assessments has been the most not just equitable but successful cannabis market, recreational cannabis market in the country, where it's now hundreds of millions of dollars in new revenue that's coming into the state of Maryland. Now, while that's happening, though, we still have people who have cannabis convictions on their record and who are having difficulty finding everything from employment to being placed in school to getting home loans to getting small business loans as they're entrepreneurs. And so you cannot celebrate the benefits of legalization if you have people who are still dealing with the consequences of criminalization. And so what we did last week was to use a gubernatorial power to sign the largest mass pardon for cannabis convictions in the history of the United States. So 175,000 convictions.
No, and Mr. Governor, you all didn't just do the convictions. There was something that was important for you around making sure paraphernalia was connected to this. And why was that important? And is it true that no one else in the country has done that?
That's correct. So this is the first time in the history of the United States that a pardon like this was done, including paraphernalia. And it's important because, it's the same situation where we're just talking about fairness. People who have convictions on their records for rolling paper, it's this type of thing that you realize how intentional this system was used to be able to break communities, to be able to break spirits, to be able to break family lineages. And it's not lost on me at all that when you look at the entire war on drugs that has been committed over these past decades in the state of Maryland, half of the arrests, half of the convictions during the war on drugs was for cannabis, for something that's no longer illegal. And if you look at what happened with African Americans in the state of Maryland were 3 times more likely to be arrested. 3 of our jurisdictions in Maryland, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Prince George's County, 2 of which are the majority black jurisdictions that we have in our state, accounted for around 50% of the arrests. So this was so targeted and so deliberate. And so by being able to not just do the pardons, but also include things like paraphernalia, which ended up catching up thousands of people who still had that on their record, we thought it was important to include that. And it was the first time in the country's history that's been included.
Well, and what's also great is that none of these 175 people have to apply to be pardoned. They don't have to write in. They are pardoned as of the signing on Monday. Correct?
That is correct. There's only a few dozen people in the country that have pardon authority, and that means the governors. And so there's nothing else that they need to do. The pardon is done. The pardon is complete.
Yeah, Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just going to ask the last question about this was, is this a precedent-setting moment that folks who are listening who aren't in Maryland need to start engaging their governors? It's not always the governor that has the ability to make this happen, but this should be, other states should be following Maryland's lead. Am I thinking am I thinking too simply as I think about it?
No. This is I want this to be the start of a movement. I want people to understand that if we are going to move to a larger recreational market, then there is no way that you can have people in your society that are still dealing with the consequences of something that is no longer illegal. And especially if you care about economic growth and economic development, and Jeff, and I want to thank you for all your leadership that you continue to provide on this. But when we came on board, we said this is about work, wages, and wealth. This is about economic growth and economic opportunities for all of our communities. And you cannot have economic growth when you continue to have a permanent underclass. You cannot have economic growth when you have people who are still suffering the consequences from something that in some cases is decades old and something that is no longer illegal, but is keeping them from being able to go to school. It's keeping them from being able to get a home loan. It's keeping them from being able to get a small business loan to help to grow their business. We need an economy. If you want a growing economy, you need to have a participatory economy. And that means getting everybody involved in that economy. It means erasing the racial wealth gap. And this is an important step in order for us to get there.
I just want to ask, and I know I might be way ahead, and I know you know what I'm going to ask. People are saying that they have high hopes for you, in the Democratic Party, and could see you on a future presidential ticket. Can you see that possibility?
I want to see Maryland lead. I want this to be Maryland's decade. I want Maryland to continue showing the country that we can be bold and we can be unapologetic and we can be ourselves and we can win. And I'm thinking about, Maryland became the first state in the country. Last year, we made Maryland the first state in the country that now has a service year option for all of our high school graduates. We made Maryland the first state in the country that now has a place-based investment strategy to be able to attack the issue of childhood poverty in a concentrated way, because we know that childhood poverty oftentimes is generational. That we just passed the most aggressive housing package in the history of the state of Maryland to be able to help renters and support renters, but also to create more homeowners. That we've been able to focus on breaking broken procurement laws so we can actually have more support for MBEs and more support for our Black-owned businesses and create real pathways for economic growth. So I want Maryland to keep on showing the country what's possible, and that if you can be unafraid to be actually go get big things done, you can actually see and meet the people and actually create a society that the people deserve.
Yes, sir. Hey, Jeff, I have to say you earned my respect today. How you get the governor of Maryland, the governor of Maryland to come on the show is Jeff, you earned my respect today, Jeff.
Ricky. You did. No. The Rickey Smiley show is the place to be, and the governor said, I want to talk to the people all over the country about what we've done with cannabis. And there was no other place to be than on this show. That's not me, brother. That's you.
No, that's you, man. Hey, Governor Westmore, we love you and we support you. And thank you for joining us this morning. All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, we got the one and only the Governor of Maryland, Westmore, on with us. And I wanted to ask, Governor, can you tell everybody the importance of this election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump and why it's so important to get out and vote?
Yeah, I tell you, I'm actually actively out there supporting the president, and I want to be clear that elections have consequences, and when you think about having people in the office who actually see us and who work with us for our collective aspirations, I'm talking about a president right now who we've been working in concert to be able to make sure that we have the lowest unemployment rate in the history, in African American unemployment rate in the history of this country. That we've been able to decrease the racial wealth gap by 60% just in his time as the president. That we now have the fastest starts in new business ownership by Black men that we have seen in 30 years. And I think about what's happening even in just in the state of Maryland. When I was inaugurated as governor, we were ranked 43rd in unemployment. Now we're going on 12 straight months with the lowest unemployment rates in the entire country. I think about what happened with the Key Bridge, where we were able to open up the federal channel in 11 weeks when people told us it would take 11 months. This is because we're working in partnership with a president who actually understands what partnership means. And so I'm telling people we have to not just get out there, we have to take it personally, because elections do have consequences, and what happens in November will have a consequence on not just our now, but on our future and our legacy and our children.
So, Mr. Governor, that I appreciate that. I have a question that is much less important, but one I need to know the answer to. It is Black Music Month. We are coming to the end of it, and I know that you are a head when it comes to music, and so listen, I need to answer the two questions. One, what is your favorite turn-up song? And then two, I know you got a crazy love affair with the First Lady of Maryland. First Lady, Dawn Moore. What's the song for her that you play when you know you can't fail?
Well, I tell you, so first, I don't believe in Black History Month. I believe in Black History Lifetimes. We keep this thing going. And I tell you, so my one turn up, there's one, and it's tough, but I say Biggie's Sky's the Limit is a song. When I hear that always sets me up because, first of all, Biggie was just a genius and a legend. But there's a one line in there when he says, "Stay far from timid, only make moves if your heart's in it, and live the phrase, sky's the limit." And that literally is something that is pierced into my soul about how we should be spending our time. And I say for the First Lady, and we have the baddest First Lady in the whole country here in Maryland, which I'm very thankful for. I say my song for her is actually our wedding song, which is Donny Hathaway, "You Were Meant for Me."
Yes, sir.
That's Donny. I think Donny Hathaway maybe has the purest voice that we have heard on this planet, and just, I mean, absolute genius. And so that was a song. That was a song we both loved, fell in love to, and that was actually our wedding song. So for me and her, I love it. Is Donny Hath.
Hey, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, "Sky's the Limit" got to be the theme song for your political career, because I think Rickey said it, man. I know there's a lot of people that want you to do everything you need to for Maryland, but I think there's a whole lot of people that are saying "Sky's the limit" on where Westmore can go, and we rock it with you, man, as you do and address work, wages, and wealth all over the country, man. Thank you so much for being on with us.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up, Governor Westmore. And Jeff, thank you always. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.